What's up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. What's that? Help us improve. Royal Mail. Stop striking. Right, it's still Saturday. We've just done the update video and then I've been cocking about with the van. And I hate working on vans. Like with a passion, I hate working on vans. What's that? Oh, we'll keep that. It's really annoying and unnecessary. You've got to move everything to get to the thing that you want. And the thing that I want is bloody buried. So my fabrication table at the minute is just covered in stuff that has to all go back on once the sensor gets here on Monday. Which it better get here on Monday. That's all I'm saying. Scissors. Where's my scissors? So what I'm doing now is I'm not sure what time Sam's coming to get me. It is currently 2 o'clock, 10 to 2, something like that. But I want to get a start on this Dynojet kit. This is the next job that's happening with ASBO. So, and there's loads of people that's been interested in this actually. What I've got is a set of pod filters that I want to run on the bike. Where are they? Here we go. Paul recommended these pipe across pod filters. He uses them on an awful lot of his bikes and stuff, and they are quite cool. And they are going to look really, really good on the bike once it's all done and dusted. So quite a simple looking thing. But you know, they're nicely made. There's not, you know, glue oozing out of them all over the place and all that sort of stuff. So I think they're going to be in there. But ordinarily, ASBO, as a stock Bandit, well, I say stock, he'd have an airbox. I have got one mocked up, which is like my plan B. I don't really want to go with it though. Reason being is the design of an airbox is actually quite a complicated thing. I started looking into it and my head was spinning. But it's got to be a certain volume, a certain shape, such that the pressure wave that's in it, because there's a pulse and you want the pulse, I think, to be on the peak, just as it gets to the intakes for the carbs. And you know, you're never going to get that. There was 2 of them. Where's the other one gone? I swear there was 2 of them. I'm sure there was. Have I just binned it off? I can't. Oh no, maybe there was this one. What was I saying? Yeah, you can't, like with a homebrew thing like that, aesthetically, it looks lovely, looked brilliant on the bike, but I'm pretty sure it wouldn't work. So, we're going with a Dynojet kit. Now, they don't do a stage 3 Dynojet kit as stock for a 600. Not the Bandit anyway. The smallest one that I saw was like for a 750 or something. But we got in touch with this fella, Just Bandits. Here's his details. Hopefully you can see that. But I had quite a long chat with the guy. He does an awful lot of work with Dynojet. And they've come up with they've come up with a stage 3 kit that works on a Bandit 600 such that you can run a pod filter so you can do away with the airbox. And this is it. I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't cheap. Does it say on here? £165.87. And this is what you get. So, obligatory stickers. They're going on the toolbox. Set of instructions. I'm hoping. Is that it? Is that it? So in it, there's got to be more to it than that. Oh no, there's 4 stages to it. That's it, that's all the instructions there are. We'll go through it and see what's what. But in this kit you get like a tiny little drill, so we're obviously drilling holes in something, probably the slides. We've got some main jets and pilot jets, I think. And then we've got some needles and some washers as well. So 4 needles, selection of washers, some little retaining clips, which, oh yeah, because you can set the height on those, they've got different notches. Okay, cool. So I'm hoping fitting this is going to make it run like a champ on pod filters, and we don't have to make that airbox at the end of the day anyway. It actually looks really, really simple. Really simple. So we'll have the carbs off in a minute. The end goal of this is, I do like the look of the pod filters, and everybody does it, but it's always a compromise because these are CV carbs. And so they're relying on a difference in air pressure basically to get the damn thing to work properly. And people just slap pod filters on, put any old, different sets of jets or this, that, and it's always a compromise, and they always run horrible. What I want to do, the main goal of this is 1, to run with the pod filter look because I do like it, but 2, I don't want to lose any power because you will do if you don't do all this lot apparently. As long as we're not losing, I don't really care about gains. This is never going to be a performance bike because it just ain't. It's a Bandit 600 from 1997. I can't remember how much power it made, but it wasn't a huge amount, nothing to write home about. I just want it to run nice and cleanly and for the throttle response to be quite nice, and I don't want it lumpy. That's all I want. When I was chatting with, I think his name's Julian, I'm sure it is, he was saying the only difference between a stage 1 and a stage 3 kit, no, sorry, a stage 2 and a stage 3 kit is the main jets. So, you could always sort of find out what the jets are and then just go and get a set of them, I suppose. That would be an easier way. Apparently these needles are a different profile and they are needed. We'll compare all this lot to the stuff that comes out of the carbs. Right, so that's what I'm doing now then. Let me put some cardboard down so we're nice and clean. I'll put them away and we can crack on. Right, so a little bit of cardboard down just to try and keep clean. I got it wrong, as per usual. They're not pilot jets and main jets. They're basically 2 different sizes of main jets. There's 120s. Is it 120s? 120s and 124s. So 120s if you're running a stock exhaust, and the 124s is if you're running an aftermarket exhaust with, a higher flowing slip-on cam, baffled and all the rest of it, which is kind of what I'm thinking that we've got. To do it, it's actually really simple. There's only 4 steps to it. We will go through it, so you can see me actually doing it on the carb. That way if I get it wrong, you all get to have a joke. But basically, we've got to take the vacuum slides out, remove all the needles and spacers and everything else, and then using this drill, we've got to open up the lift hole in each of the slides. Lift hole, not the hole that the needle goes through. Then we're going to stick the main jets in, and we'll be going with the 124s because obviously I've got an aftermarket, a very aftermarket exhaust system. Then the needles, they're actually grooved, and you get these little, it's like a little, there you go, little clips. It's not a circlip, it's like, I don't know what you'd call them. What are they? It's not a circle. What is it? I can't remember. I can't remember the name for them. But anyway, that goes into groove 4. And then we've just got to adjust the mixture screw. So we'll get to all that in a second. But let's put those needles all in there. How many is there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ideal. Jets we can keep to one side as well. And we can start pulling this little lot apart. So, vacuum slides first. What I'm probably going to do is set this up in the vise, just so it don't go anywhere, and we just do one at a time. First thing I want to do though is give it a bit of a wipe down. I quite like these impact drivers. They are good. They just like shock stuff out, but it's quite gentle rather than leaning on. All these screws is buggered. I need to get them replaced. We'll be putting Allen's in. This is the tube one. There we go. Right, where's my screwdriver? All I'm going to do is just do them one at a time, rather than go through doing all the slides first and blah de blah de blah. Alright, so I suppose we could do. It just depends how much time I've got. I don't know what time Sam's coming to get me. So, what I might do is do this one, top and bottom, just so you can see it. And then if she comes and gets me, I can just disappear. But I've got enough to stick the whole video. Well, no, actually I won't, because I still want to get them back on the bike with the filters. We'll go through and we'll do all the slides first. Executive decision. Right, so 4 screws, he should lift up. There's a spring under there that locates in that groove, so he goes in like that. Yeah. Stick him to one side, and this is the slide. So he just pulls straight out. There's the needle, and this is just a little retaining clip. So if you squeeze it, it does come out. Actually, should we do that under it? No, we'll do it over here. I want to have a look at the difference in the needle as well anyway. It's all still nice and clean. Then again, it's done bugger all, isn't it? It's just the outside that I want to clean up. But he's going to get vapour blasted. Right. Well, these diaphragms should be fine. The bike was running quite happily before. It's just been kind of sat there with a sealed up engine, so, you know, no biggie. So anyway, squeeze that clip. He should pop out like that. And then upend it. Needle comes out. I think I put a washer underneath these. Yes, I did, and the washer has stayed in there. Right, he needs to come out, but that is basically the needle, and these are the stock ones. So they're not adjustable like the Dynojet ones are. There's an end to it. If you want to raise it up, then basically you're sticking washers underneath it. If we look at one of the needles here, I don't know if you can see, there's a series of grooves in it at the top, and in the kit you get these little clips, like that one there where my thumb is. So that clip goes into the 4th groove, I think it said, and that basically sets the height of the needle within the carb. So they are slightly different as well in the profile apparently. So this one is a lot sort of thinner than that one. There's a definite step up there, whereas on this one there isn't so much as a step. It's sort of the taper is longer, whereas this one, it's quite skinny, the stock one, and then it steps out a lot more as it gets up halfway, I suppose. Right, so I just we've got all the slides out, all the needles is out, so that's all good. I just cleaned off this micrometer. We'll zero it. So I have no idea what size this drill bit is. There's nothing on it. On the packet it just says DD37, which could be a number drill, I suppose. But I'm just curious. I have got a set of numbered drills, and I've got the little guide and stuff that tells me what size it all is. 2.64. Oh, okay, all right. I'm hoping it's a little bit bigger than the lift hole, which it is, and you're taking bugger all off of it, you really are. So anyway, 2.64, we'll stick him back in his box, and then we're going to drill the slides up. So this is it shows on this diagram there's only one lift hole. This is just the generic set of instructions, I'm guessing, for anybody, you know, carb. But here we've actually got 2. So the one in the centre is where obviously the needle comes through, Then you've got a hole either side of it. They're the lift holes, and that's what I'm drilling using the drill bit that they provide. So, that's the next bit. So, those little clips, he's putting the E-clip, that's what these are called. So the E-clip is going in slot number 4. And these are tiny, so I just know it's going to ping off into the corner of the flaming workshop. I'm never going to see it again. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on. Right, a little pair of pliers, I think. Yeah, that's in 4. And there's a washer that goes on the bottom. So that's where it sits inside the, you probably, I don't know, can you see? In the bottom there, there's a little recess where it all sits. So he's going to sit in there, and then where the retainer comes down on top, there's like this little lip to it as well. So we stick a washer on top of it. So it's just got something to sit down onto. And then that whole lot can basically go back inside the slide, making sure it goes in the right hole. And no washers fall off. So he's in there, and then the retainer goes in. Come on. There we go. And that just clips down in place. So that's the first one done. There we go. Right, that's the last one. As I've been going around, I've just been checking all the diaphragms, making sure there's no splits or nicks or anything else in them. Because obviously if there are, they're all going to need to be replaced as well. I think they actually come as part of the slide assembly. So, but they're all good, so we can go and shove them back in. And that's the next bit. Okay. Right, so he's in. To make sure the diaphragm's down. And the spring. And the cover. Might as well have the words all facing the same way. And he's down. Right, so that's stage 1 done. That was easy enough. Step 2, install the Dynojet main. Install the Dynojet main jets provided. If you're running a stock exhaust, install the DJ100. Well, that's for the other one. And if you're running the aftermarket exhaust or slip-on with a high flow baffling, use the bigger ones. Be sure that the jets you are changing is the main jet. Right, okay. Alan, which one are you? You give me that one? No. Right, I've already done the first one. The camera wasn't on. So all we've got to do now is have the float bowls off. I'm just going through them one by one and getting them done that way. But the float bowls have got to come off, and then we've got I just want to have a check and make sure everything's nice and clean. This had new gaskets in when the carbs were rebuilt, so I am just going to be reusing them. You know, I'm not putting a service kit or anything else into it. They should be fine. But I just want to make sure everything's clean and tidy in there on each of the carbs. The float heights were all set. There's no need to go through checking and changing and doing any of that stuff, because that was all fine. It really is just a case of taking the main jet out and sticking another one in. Come on, off you come. There we go. That's all fine. It's all good. Right, so this is the main jet. Where's my big screwdriver? So, just make sure it's clean. Come on. There we go. So he winds up. I can't see what size it is. The writing on these is tiny. But anyway, we is going with the 124s, which is these ones. Come on. And he just screws in the top there. Nip him up. And then we can shove the top back on. I am putting a little bit of grease on the gasket. You know, the it's like a funny shaped O-ring. A little bit of something to help it. There we go. It's all clean. Alright, so we can go back on. Do the screws up, go through, do all the others, and we should be in. All these screws need to be replaced. So when we come to finishing the bike off properly, and you know, the carbs have all been vapor blasted and all that sort of stuff, they are all going to get swapped out for nice new ones. So it proper looks the part. Anyway. So if I go through and get all this sort done, then the only other thing I think we've got to do is the air fuel mixture, which would be a doddle. No! The last one. The last one, I was just doing it up and the bloody end has come off of it, look. Oh, you're gonna be a complete cow to get out. Right. I can't believe it did that. There's bugger all to it. It's literally, we can see the hole. Right, okay, final bit is just doing the air fuel mixture. What did it say? 2 1/4 turns? 2 1/4 turns, right. Right, so the air fuel mixture is that one, and that one. And all we've got to do is wind it in so it bottoms out. Come on. Right, he's bottomed out, and then we're winding it out 2 1/4 turns. So half, 1, half, 2 1/4. Do that on all of them. Bottomed out. Yeah. Half, 1, half, 2 1/4. Where was it? There. Half, 1, half, 2 1/4. And then the last one. Half, 1, half, 2 1/4. So that's it. We should be good. I can't believe that bloody thing went. I have got some extractors, so I'm gonna have to Dremel a little flat spot on it, drill it, put an extractor in it and try and get the bugger out. I haven't got any left-handed drill bits. I do need to get some because they would be ideal for something like that. But anyway, there you go. It's quite an easy job to fit. It's not the, you know, it's nothing hard. Well, apart from drilling out the screws that you break off. But yeah, there's nothing hard to it really at all. You just got to make sure that you're setting the needles at the right heights and, you know, blah-de-blah-de-blah. You know, it's only 4 steps to do. It's no biggie. I would love to be able to fire it up and go, oh, it runs like a champ. Loads of power. Doesn't miss a beat. I can't do that. I've got the rest of the bike to build. So anyway, that's where I'm going to have to leave it for this one. I'm going to be back in Monday and Tuesday because I've got the sensor to shove back in the van. But I'll get that drilled out and I'll replace that one. If I can get some replacements, I'll just replace all of them because they're a bit, I mean, they're going to get replaced anyway for the final build. It would just be nice to do it now. But we'll get all that lot done. And then I can start hooking up, you know, throttles and running the cable in and all that other sort of guff. And we'll get the pod filters on and we'll start to see what it's going to look like with all its final bits and pieces on. Just, you have to ignore all the scabby bits like the engine and stuff. So anyway, we are going to run it up on the dyno. We're going to get some proper numbers and compare it to the original dyno and just see how it went. As long as we're not losing power, I don't mind, because it's the look that we're going for, but I need to have it like a reliable starter, runner, goes like a champ, all that sort of stuff. But anyway, there's not a lot more I can do in here today, so that's what I'm going to call it. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope you're well and staying safe. I will see you on the next one. Laters.